Hey y'all, Rick Fairless, Strokers Dallas, Strokers Ice House, Punctuality Garage and Fearless Services. Good morning. How you doing? It's Monday. You can do it. You can get through Monday. I'm going to get through it. You're going to get through it too. Today is, hold up. Yeah. Monday, December the 4th. 2023, year of our Lord. In my life, the 365 Project, the Mr. Peabody Wayback Machine is going to go back to the 50s and the 60s. So, if you think about how different the world is now versus how it was back then. I mean, obviously, when we were young people, things were much different than they are now. And I'm sure our parents and grandparents thought the same thing. What we were thinking was so wonderful back then, our parents and grandparents were thinking that it wasn't good then, that it was better back in the 20s and 30s or whatever. But if you think about the stuff that we did back then that was normal compared to now, like riding a bicycle all over town. You rode a bicycle all over town. I don't care if you're 40 and over, you had a bicycle and you rode that dang bike everywhere, and so did all your buddies, and you never wore a bicycle helmet. Most of the time your parents didn't know where you were out fooling around. We did that. Smoking was huge back then. I asked my mom, I said, "Did you smoke when you were pregnant with me?" She said, "Ricky, yes, I smoked when I was pregnant with you and your brother. Everybody smoked back then." She said, "The doctor was smoking in the delivery room when you were born." We survived that. We survived no seat belts, no safety belts. We never had, I don't even know if we had seat belts in the car. Your seat belt was your mom's arm like this when she come to a fast stop. As your seat belt. We used to ride in the back of the pickup truck from our house in Irving, Texas to Sayre, Oklahoma and back, which is 250 miles each way. Me and my brother rode in the back of the pickup truck, sitting on the hump for the wheel well. And we did that for years. You walked to school. Until I had a motorcycle, I didn't ride the bus to school. My parents didn't take me to school. Me and my brother walked to school every day. People used to smoke on airplanes. Can you imagine that? You'd be sitting next to somebody and they're smoking. It was common. It was common back then. Hitchhiking. We used to hitchhike. I've hitchhiked 1,000 times. But that stuff today just seems crazy. Back then, we used to get a spanking. If we did something wrong, we got a spanking. And if my dad didn't have time to give me a spanking, he just whacked me upside the head. Bang! Sorry, sir. But that was normal. We lived through all that. If you tried most of that stuff on this generation of kids, well, you can't. You can't. It's a different world. Makes you wonder what the next generation will be like. Let's check that truck. Check that truck. Woo! Hey, looky here now. So these are some British trucks. What do they call it? The Union Jack. So they have the Who logo. Where is it? The Who. You can't hardly see it. How about on this one? Nope. So this is the Who, the band. So you've got blue, red, and white, and blue logo, white toe, white sew, blue and red racing stripes, 2 vent hose, dirty white shoestrings, one eye down, double knotted for safety. Now these are some cool shoes. I'm not kidding. These are cool. I dig them. Those are some feel-good shoes. See how dirty they are? The dirtier they are, the better they feel. You sure about that? Let's go with that. Slang. Here's a word that people used to use, and I haven't heard it in a while. She's a doll. A doll, that was more my parents' generation, meant basically it was a pretty girl. You know, a little girl could be a doll. Oh, she's a doll. So, I haven't heard that word in a while. Dad joke. He who laughs last thinks slowest. Oh, let's see. Strokers Dallas merch, merch.com. That is my website. You're going to do some Christmas shopping. Wouldn't you rather do your Christmas shopping with me than Mr. Amazon? Or somebody selling on Amazon, or somebody selling on Etsy or Betsy or Facebook Marketplace or some of those deals? We get people sometimes that buy parts through the internet and they come up here to have us install them, which I won't normally do, because when we have tried to do it in the past, most of the time those parts are not the correct fitment, or they're a very inferior part, and then the people get pissed and then they can't send the part back. Just buy you parts from me. We'll make you a deal on parts. I've got over $1 million worth of parts in stock. Anything I don't have, I can get in a few days, and I'll give you a deal on it, okay? Motivational Minute. The big secret about life is there is no secret. If you want something, go get it, but you gotta work for it. Nothing good comes for free. I talk to a lot of people, and I get a lot of mail and messages on how they are motivated by my morning shows. That does my heart so good. That makes me feel so wonderful, and it makes me feel like I'm so happy that I'm doing this. Because if one person can get inspiration from my words, I appreciate that, and it just drives me that much more to do better. So we've all got to do the same thing. We've all got to make a better life for ourselves and our family. You can do it, I can do it. I want to give a shout out to Mark Smith. Mark Smith used to live in Dallas. Mark Smith has lived all over, but he's back home in the Joplin, Missouri area. He's retired, and he is a full-time caregiver for his wife. And Mark is a good guy. I've met Mark before. I've met his son before. The world needs more people like Mark Smith. We appreciate you very much, Mark. Tonight is Monday, so we have the Dollar Store Generals on the Jam. If you want to come out and watch that, they put on a good show. And did you know, I'm going to leave you with this, did you know that the letter Q is the only letter that doesn't appear in any state name? So none of the states have the letter Q in the name. What's going on there? All right, Rick, Fairless. Remember, on Saturday the 9th, we have the Toys for Tots, and I hope y'all come out. I appreciate you, man. You a doll. Love you, bye.